up and welcome to the Beneath the Dirt podcast. I'm your host, Rombone. Thank you for tuning in. Episode 205 in the fucking high. What's good, everybody? Thank you for tuning in, whether you're on YouTube or your favorite podcasting app, and what's really good out there. How y'all doing? Y'all chilling? Did you enjoy the holiday? I know we're a day late on here, but I gave the heads up. But, we ain't missing the fucking week. We here. I was busy hanging out with the fam and all that shit. So what the fuck is good? Hope everybody's doing good out there. All that good shit, man. We got a lot to talk about this week. Some fucking fire-ass music came out this week. Some people be talking shit. Some people need to get slapped. We taking rights away. What the fuck, man? But let's get right into it with some new music. Stop wasting any fucking time. This song right here I'm about to talk about, easily one of my favorite songs this year, if not my favorite song this year, and it's only been out like 3 days. This shit right here, J Reno featuring mcnastee. Yo, these two together, I don't even know what to say, but I didn't know that I wanted a J Reno mcnastee project, but I do. This song is called Wrong One, and I played this song. I must have played this shit at least 20 times this weekend. At least. Back to back to back. Just replay this shit over and over and over. Again, this song is so fucking fire. I don't know who did the production for this song. Maybe J Reno did it. I know he does beats. I'm not sure. The beat is fucking fire. These dudes just kill it on this verse. Like the shit they're rapping about over this type of beat that they're doing it on. Like if it was me rapping on this kind of beat, I'd be rapping about, how my girlfriend dumped me or something and how I hate myself, some emo shit, But these dudes went fucking hard as fuck on this track. J Reno killed the hook on here too. mcnastee comes out fucking hard. The very first line, he just says, "I'm unleashing hell's rage with a 12 gauge." Son, that's the fucking type of shit that they're on this track. J Reno comes in on his verse talking about he's gonna stomp your head to the beat of the snare. Like, what the fuck? This shit is so goddamn good. The way the beat breaks down, kicks back in over the verses. This is like the perfect song. I love this shit. I've been hooting and hollering that we need new mcnastee. We just got an EP from J Reno not too long ago, spitting the wicked shit, but dog, J Reno and mcnastee, if we can make an EP happen or even a full-length project, like these dudes sound so good over this song. I need more. This shit is fire. So goddamn good, man. If there's one song you check out from this week that I talk about from an artist that you might not have heard before, it's gotta be this one. J Reno mcnastee, Wrong One. This it's just so fucking good, man. I don't know what else to say. I love this song. There's usually one, maybe two songs, maybe a handful. I don't even know, but like a year that come out where it's just like, yo, like you just bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. Like it's not often a song comes out, like somebody releases a single and I just play the fuck out of it. The last one that I probably did that to was when Oh the Horror dropped their remix of Tears of Gold, and I didn't even know that was like they remade that song from somebody else. But like when that song came out, I played the fuck out of it, and this is what that song is for 2022. This song is so good. Again, J Reno mcnastee, Wrong One. Peep the shit. It is phenomenal. These dudes absolutely fucking killed it on that track, man. Just absolutely fucking fire. And a lot of other fire music fucking came out this week too. But that one right there, not only my favorite song of the week, but probably my favorite song of the year. It's just, woo! These dudes fucking killed it. Shit. My second favorite song that dropped this past week, Ouija Macc dropped the first single off Stalewind. He dropped the video for it as well. I have to look up the fucking name of the track. I don't remember the name of the track off my head. But goddamn, this video, Ouija Macc is like, I've said it before, just consistent on every level, from music, videos, merch, touring, all that shit. But this dude absolutely fucking kills it. I love the video on here. Just super high quality shit. The song is called Fill the Space. This shit is a fucking banger. Produced by Devereaux. Hex is in the video as well. Chapter 17 in the motherfucking building. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see a clip of the video playing right here. No noise, of course, because I don't want to get fucking flagged, but this shit is fire. The beat, Devereaux murdered this fucking beat, man. The bass is deep as fuck, heavy as fuck. You gonna blow some fucking speakers, some fucking eardrums, break some fucking windows, piss some old ladies off next door to your fucking crib, because this shit is heavy as fuck. But it's a chill ass, it's a pretty chill song. But Ouija fucking kills it on here too, of course. And this shit got me even more hyped for Stalewind than I'm already hyped for this shit. It just seems like this dude could do no wrong, man. Seriously, ever since Hell's Hollow tape, this dude has done no wrong as far as music goes. This shit is fire. And it's only up on YouTube right now. I don't know if it's going to be released on all the DSPs. No word on it, on that as of yet. But if anything, just go to YouTube, peep the shit, because it's so good, man. Ouija kills it every single time. He just does some shit, man. He just absolutely fucking murders it, man. I love it. Love the visuals. Just killing it, man. Ain't nobody fucking with Ouija right now. Ben's saying it over and over. I'm like a broken fucking record. So the fuck what? But man, like I said, fire ass music this week. Let's keep it fucking going. 9 Millz, Worcester, Mass, my hometown, dropped a new single off his new album that is out right now. Actually, I'm going to double check to make sure that his new album did drop today. I'm recording this July 4th. And it is out right now. The Middle Finger LP, 16 tracks, 45 minutes. This is a fucking full-length album. The album is out right now, but he dropped the single off it called Time Flies this past Friday. And this is the shit I like. This is a boom bap shit from 9 Millz. This shit is fire. I'm hyped to hear the rest of this album. I'm definitely adding this to my library right now as we speak in my Apple Music. And shout out to 9 Millz. He's one of the best artists to come out of Worcester, Mass. Ever since I've been following fucking Worcester, Mass. I can't name everybody, but everybody that I've heard come from Worcester, this dude's easily one of the best, in my opinion. And he absolutely killed it on this track. His new album, The Middle Finger LP, is out right now. 9 Millz. I'm fucking hyped for it. He does have a couple features on there. He's got his boy Resno on there. Shout out to Resno as well. And a couple other cats are on there as well. So shout out to 9 Millz again. And peep that Middle Finger LP. That single Time Flies was sounding good. So I'm hyped to hear the rest of the album. Ill Bill dropped his first single off his upcoming album, Billy. This one's produced by Stu Bangers, featuring Lord Goat, formerly known as Gore-Tex. It's called Once Upon a Time in Canarsie. Fire. Ill Bill is just one of the most consistent dudes in the underground doing it. Been doing it for fucking 20 plus years at this point. And this shit is fire. Stu Bangers on the production, fucking killing it. If you've ever listened to Ill Bill, then you know what to expect. He's got Gore-Tex on here, now known as Lord Goat, Lord Goat is probably a better name than Gore-Tex, but I've been listening to fucking nonfiction for 20 years at this point. And it'll always be Gore-Tex to me. I know it's Lord Goat, but it'll always be Gore-Tex. But that song is a fucking banger as well. Skee dropped a new track. This one also produced by Stu Bangers. This one's called Postcards from Hell, and it's just classic Gmo shit, man. Punchline after punchline. This dude's fucking ill. Talking about it's easier to buy a gun than it is to fucking try to find a PS4 or a PS5 right now. I mean, shit. I still haven't seen a PS5 in a fucking store. Have you? No. But I be seeing, guns and shit everywhere. People fucking dying. People fucking died today out in Chicago. Like, what the fuck? But Gmo Skee, Postcards from Hell. This shit is just classic Gmo shit, man. If you've ever listened to Gmo at any fucking point in time, you know what to expect from Gmo. And this is just a continuation of him just killing shit, punchlines, ill, gritty production from Stu Bangers. Fucking fire. Peep that shit. New Jarren Benton. He dropped one last week. He's back again this week. He dropped a new track this week called Glamour and Glitz. This shit is fire. This is back to like the trap shit from Jarren Benton. Last week was also boom bap shit, if I remember correctly. But this one is back to, the heavy 808s, down south sound of shit. And it's just Jarren Benton, the 1700th single. 1717th single, sorry, that he's released in the last couple years. But I love the consistency. He's just been killing it, man. No promotion like, hey, check out my new single dropping this Friday. He just be dropping the shit, and the shit be sounding fucking fire. So can't complain. Gmo, one of the most consistent dudes in the underground right now. These next two projects I'm going to talk about, they're not on the DSPs yet. No word on when they will be on the DSPs. Haven't seen any word from Bukshot yet. But I did get to hear Mr. Gray's album, Operation Delirium. And this shit is really fucking good, man. Really good. Produced by Seven. When I interviewed Bukshot, he said this would be on some kind of industrial 9 Inch Nails type shit. And he wasn't too far off from that comparison. There is some industrial sound of shit on here. Mr. Gray does his thing on this album. And it sounds fucking good, man. I don't know what to say. The features from Boondocks, Bukshot, Clockwork, Jeffrey Nothing all sound really good. We did have the one song, Winter Soldier, that was previously on the Mob Style Christmas album. But every other song is fucking fire. My favorite song on here, DC Faker, I was talking to him about this album, and he said this was his favorite song too. And after listening to this album a handful of times this past week, I got to agree. Zerk with Boondocks and Bukshot is fire. I love that song, man. All three kill it on there. I love that shit. That song right there is fucking fire. It was really dope to hear Clockwork and Mr. Gray back on a song again, working on some music again. We haven't heard anything from them since Gods and Claws, the last Guerrilla Voltage album. They even had went at it back and forth on social media a little bit at one point, but they're back, reunited, if you will, doing music again. It was dope to hear Clockwork on that track. So if you're on the fence of buying this Mr. Gray project, I say go for it. If you've been a fan of any Guerrilla Voltage shit, any of his previous solo stuff, I have no reason to believe that you wouldn't be a fan of this right here. So if you've previously liked anything Mr. Gray has done, check it out. If you haven't, when it hits the DSPs, peep the shit and buy the hard copy. If you like it, to support the fucking, to support the artists. And then the other album, the Berzerkers, is out. If you buy the bundle, there's the Solomon bundle, I believe it's called, and then the Inner Skull bundle. You get the jerseys, and then included in the bundle is the Berzerkers album. Bukshot and Mr. Gray are the Berzerkers. I did get to hear this one as well. As much as I did like the Mr. Gray album, this Berzerkers album is fucking fire. This shit is fire. And I'm calling them albums, but in reality, they're EPs. They're about a half hour long, 8-9 songs, with a couple intros added in there. But this Berzerkers project, I like Mr. Gray solo. I'm digging the shit Bukshot has been doing solo. But when these dudes are like in a group, whether it be Cabal or now Berzerkers or Bukshot with Kung Fu, Mr. Gray with Damn Dirty Apes, when these dudes team up with somebody or team up together like they did with the Berzerkers, this shit is fire. I like this better than the Mr. Gray album. Not to downplay the Operation Delirium, but this Berzerkers project, spit wicked shit. They just going hard as fuck, talking all that crazy shit. Low Key is on the album on this track called Bottomless. That shit is a mosh pit anthem. That shit is fire. But my favorite track on here is Red Team. God damn, I fucking love Red Team. But every track on here is fire. We got, of course, we do have the Terminus track with Twiztid, Cabal, the Funtime guys, and Zool, which was previously available on the Attack of the Ninjas album, but now on the Berzerkers album as well. Entirely produced by Seven. I was really curious to see if Seven did the production for this entire album. He did. And Seven is Seven. I mean, what the fuck can I say, man? From his work with Tech Nine, Twiztid, ICP, Mac Lethal, fucking everybody else on Strange Music. Like, this dude, Seven's resume speaks for itself. He's killing it now in the underground, working with dudes like Bukshot and Mr. Gray. And this Berzerkers project is fire. Again, no word if it's going to hit the DSPs. No word if it's going to be sold on its own at some point in time. You know, hopefully it will be. But man, I'm glad I got to hear both these fucking albums. And they're fucking fire. Fire. Especially that Berzerkers project, in my opinion. But goddamn, that shit is fire. Peep it when it drops, or go buy the bundle. Go buy the Mr. Gray album. I don't know what to tell you, but them shits is fire. Love that shit. Few more projects that dropped this week. Insane Poetry dropped his album, Violent Art. That is up on the DSPs right now. Of course, you can get the hard copies through the LSP web store if you want. The only problem I have with this album is when you look it up, it says Violent Album on Apple Music. I don't know what the fuck LSP is doing with their digital distribution, but they labeled the album wrong on Apple Music. I don't know if it's like that for Spotify or anything else. You know, we still ain't got the fucking Darby album up on Apple Music. Like, what the fuck is up with that? That's a really good album too. LSP been killing it all 2022. You know, DSP issues aside, Insane Poetry, I'm sure killed it on here. I did listen to a couple tracks. I had the chance over the weekend. One of the tracks is up on the Weekly Bumps playlist, but that's out right now. James Joyce, the Squatch, he dropped a new track as well. James Joyce, the Squatch, is boys and rolls with Donnie Menace. His new track is called Hubert, Cumberdale, and this is just on some boom bap shit. I did get to listen to it once when I did bump the playlist, preparing for the show. That's out there right now. It sounded really fucking dope. Germ of Grey 5'9" dropped his 3-pack off this past Friday, the Cold Summer EP. I heard the one song off the EP that I put up on the playlist. It sounded good. Germ, he did a couple projects with Suicide Boys. I think it was the Dirty Nasty Suicide and then the Dirty Nastier Suicide. But those projects were fucking, like, that's some classic shit on there. Like, Uzi Loogies is like one of my all-time favorite Suicide Boys songs, and Germ was on that bitch too. Absolutely killed it. So go peep that Germ shit. And then Hush and Bobby J from Rockaway dropped their LP, 718 to 313. That is up now. We've heard damn near half that album with all the singles they released for it, and that shit sounded really good. Can't wait to dive into that one as well. So that's all the new music that dropped this week. A lot of shit, like I said, but a lot of fucking fire. And of course, If you want to peep anything that I talked about, everything I talked about, or damn near everything I talked about, is up on the Weekly Bumps playlist on Apple Music, Spotify, and YouTube. Go follow that shit. You can find the link at beneathdirt.com. A lot of fucking music dropped this week, man. I think going forward, we're about 20 minutes in at this point. I can't talk about everything that dropped, but like I said, there was a lot of fucking fire that dropped this week. So I had to talk about it. But god damn, man. A lot of fucking fire. So peep that shit. And then we got, the main story. Let's get into the fucking main story, huh? Already 20 minutes balls deep in this motherfucking podcast. Last week, Lyte took to Facebook. He released a long-ass fucking statement. People been speculating ever since the Lights Out announcement with Blaze, ABK, Boondocks. Fucking DJ Clay's playing that motherfucker. Dayton Family's on there. Hoodoo was on it, but backed out, presumably because the M&E people were on there. But Lyte took to Facebook. He said, listen, I love juggalos, period, and always will be one. I have been in this scene since I was 12 and lived and breathed it. Do your history. And also lived my life by the family code. So at the end of the day, I'm loyal to me and my friends and my family, and I expect the same in return. Not a label or any label for that matter. I work hard and did what most could not, and I am grateful for every opportunity that I have been presented in life, whether it was good or bad, because it was a learning experience to grow. But real talk, I don't give a fuck about a split, a beef, who's doing what, he said, she said, or picking sides in the underground scene. This dude's spitting fire right now. Lyte's spitting that shit, son. He goes on to say, I could care less. That's definitely not what a low stands for. At least not my generation. So he's saying he ain't picking fucking sides because he don't give a fuck. And that's not what a fucking juggalo stands for, at least from his generation. He must be from the old school, like myself. Man, I thought we were family up in this motherfucker, but hey. He continues to say, I like what I like and I fuck with who I fuck with. Hold on. I fucking hate reading, dog. I say this all the time. He says, I like what I like and I fuck with who I fuck with for a reason because I choose to. I make music for people with or without a title to enjoy it and vibe to it. It's my outlet to vent about what I've seen, what I've done and been through, and what's about to happen, and hopefully it can help others along the way. I fuck with you by your character and how you treat me, simple as that. He goes on to say, next Wednesday, which is this Wednesday, him and Straightjacket will be going live to answer any and all questions y'all want to know. Monstars for life, love Lyte. So Lyte is saying, fuck the beef, fuck the bullshit, fuck the split and the divide and all that bullshit, because that's not what he fucking stands for. And this dude be spitting. I love that he put this out here, because he's doing Lights Out with Blaze, Boondocks, ABK, Blaze and Boondocks, they are M&E. ABK said, fuck it, I'm not done waiting around for nothing, and, did some shit with M&E, continues to do shit with M&E. Clay, not affiliated to M&E, but is affiliated with Psychopathic. He will be at the gathering this year. And Lyte will not be at the gathering this year. Is it because of Lights Out 5, or is it because of whatever the fuck? Who the fuck knows? But I like the statement, and we need more artists that are in the middle to do shit and say shit like this, to maybe get the OGs to fucking patch the shit up, man. It's such an old, beat down, dead horse we're talking about, right? The fucking beef. It's been going on for so long. Whether they're actually beefing or not, at this point, I don't think so. I just think it is what it is. The motherfuckers don't like each other, or at least one side don't like the other side. You know, the one side, Violent J, really? Saying he don't like Twiztid and all this other shit, and they want to leave it in the past, but continues to bring it up. He don't like talking about it, but continues to bring it up. And I mean, Shaggy does it too. Jump steady, hops in, but Twiztid been relatively silent over the last 5.5 years, ever since the Fago Lovers interview about it. Little blurbs here and there. You know, Monoxide apologizing to the Juggalos, which was fucking huge. And of course, you had the Juggalos who just didn't give a fuck, which was to be expected, right? But then some Juggalos accepted the apology and said, fuck it, moved on. Because in reality, if you were a fan of Twiztid before all this shit, or even ICP, you know, the split goes both ways. There's still a lot of shit, a lot of dope shit being dropped on both sides. Right? A lot of dope music, a lot of dope shows, events, whatever else. But I like Lyte saying this. I fuck with it. I really do. You know, people giving Lyte shit because he was in the 6 foot, 7 foot video. Yeah, but Lyte wasn't fucking dissing anybody, right? Lyte was just presented an opportunity to be in a video. And it just so happened fucking Violent J was throwing bars at fucking Twiztid and M&E on that bitch. And he did his thing. He fucking, you know, just rapping at the end of the track. And it just so happened to have fucking bars at Twiztid on it. But I think as time fucking moves on, it's just kind of like, you know what, man, I'm sick of this shit. Sick of this shit, and I'm gonna say something. And I think that's what Lyte did here. So I fucks with it. I like it. You know, I'm in the same boat. I've done been saying it. I stay in the motherfucking middle, man. I stay in the middle. Just like I always have. I've just been a fan of both of them for so fucking long. It just never changed. It's just now two of my favorite acts don't fucking like each other. And it's unfortunate for the people like myself who fucking like both, you know, both Twiztid and ICP, M&E and Psychopathic and everything else that they fucking have to offer. You know, we're the ones to suffer because they don't work together anymore. But like I said, dope shit is still being put out. And, you know, you're missing out if you chose a side. Whether it be side A or side B, you're missing out. And it's just, you know, we got to move past the bullshit, man. I'll just keep saying it. We got to just got to move past the bullshit at some point, right? That's what the fuck I keep saying. So Lyte says he's sick of the bullshit. Bukshot hops on Twitter. He says he's sick of the bullshit as well. This dude, he dropped a statement on Twitter out of fucking nowhere last week. He says to my rapper homies out there, there's a good chance I'm going to smack the shit out of a few of artists when I see them. Some of these artists are your label mates and homies. Please don't take what I do as a sign of disrespect to you. It's just me having to handle grown man shit 100. Bukshot is going to bring out Buck Norris and slap the shit out of somebody soon. I see a lot of people saying Bukshot ain't going to do shit. I've heard stories of this dude slapping the shit out of people. So if I had to put my money on it, I'd say if Bukshot does run into whoever the fuck who he's talking about, we'll slap the shit out of him because he's done it before. No reason to believe he ain't going to slap the shit out of him again, somebody else again. You know, I'm not going to say no names on who he slapped, but I'll say from what I've heard and firsthand witnesses have told me that the Buck slap is real. So anybody that doubting that he ain't gonna do shit, I don't know, man. He just he just might slap the shit out of somebody. But who the fuck is Bukshot talking about? He said to all my rapper homies out there, and some of these artists are your label mates and homies. So don't take it as don't take what I do as a sign of disrespect to you. So that kind of narrows it down, right? But not really. This dude, I mean, Bukshot fucking fucks with everybody. Bukshot's another dude who just keeps it neutral, right? Ultimately, he fucks with damn near everybody. Like, who doesn't Bukshot fuck with, really? He done projects Kung Fu, Low Key, Mr. Gray, Boondocks, heavily works with M&E. He does shit with LSP, Zool, like everybody. Long Live Evil, all that shit. Bukshot's everywhere in the fucking underground. So it kind of narrows it down, but not really, because Bukshot got a lot of homies out there. But be sure, if Bukshot does slap the shit out of somebody, we'll cover it here on the Beneath the Dirt podcast. You know, and if it does go down, sorry, or I ain't sorry for shit, but goddamn. I thought that was, you know, kind of out of left field. I have no idea who the fuck he's talking about. You know, random as fuck. But I like the fuck shit sometimes. You know, I'm sitting here calling for peace between sides, and I'm sitting here laughing about Bukshot slapping the shit out of people. Almost called him Bukshot. Sitting here calling for peace, but I'm laughing about Bukshot slapping the shit out of some people. I gotta admit, the shit would be pretty fucking funny. But I don't condone violence. I gotta put that out there as a little disclaimer. Do I even make sense right now? Am I contradicting the fuck out of myself right now? Well, fuck it. Oh well. I'm only human, right? Esham. Another one took to Facebook, social media last week. He released a statement last week. Now, if you've been paying attention to the fucking news, you know you've heard about this Roe v. Wade situation that's been going down. The Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, where it's now up to the states to ban abortion if they want. Basically taking rights away from women. Some fucked up shit, man. Like, are we really going back to like the early 1900s in this motherfucker? Are we going back 100 years, taking rights away from people, telling people what they can and can't do? Some bullshit. Really? Fucking stupid as fuck, if you ask me. But Esham took to Facebook. He says, the more things change, the more they stay the same. When I released Kill the Fetus in 93, it was immediately blacklisted. If you wanted to buy it, you had to ask for it by name because record stores kept it behind the counter in a brown paper bag so no one would see it. I don't know if that's true or not, but I also don't doubt it at the same time either. Like 1990, Esham releasing Kill the Fetus. If you remember the Kill the Fetus cover, had the fucking, not only was it Kill the Fetus, but it was kkkill. That's how he spelled kill. And then on the cover, it was like a baby still in the placenta. If that's what you call it. Again, I don't know the anatomy and shit like that. I wasn't that good in health class in school, right? Anyway, it was a fucking ill-ass cover. Of course, talking about Kill the Fetus on the album. Esham, super controversial in the fucking 90s, way ahead of his fucking time. So if the album was in stores behind, the counter in a brown paper bag, again, I don't know if I necessarily believe it, but I don't doubt it at the same time. But anyway, he goes on to say mainstream music made a parody of it by putting it on all their most disturbing, controversial, scary album covers of all times list. It wasn't all for shock value. They totally missed the point. He goes on saying, yes, it was disturbing, vulgar, and graphic. Just like the truth. No one ever wondered why, at the age of 20, I had this perspective? My lyrics didn't come out of thin air. These are things I had seen, heard, and experienced growing up in a community no one gave a shit about. And he ends the statement with, and this is the illest shit right here, I didn't make the world ugly, I just talk about it. So that's Esham's statement on Roe v. Wade, kind of addressing that shit. You know, again, Esham way ahead of his time with the subject matter and shit that he was talking about on his records in the early 90s, man. Like, nobody was doing the shit he was doing. Pioneer of the wicked shit. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. At least one of the pioneers, like, at least, but like the godfather of this shit. The more things change, the more they stay the same. And yeah, you know, I'm not gonna get too heavy on this shit because I don't do the politics thing like that. One, because I'm not super educated in the politics like that. I have been paying attention to this story in particular because it is so fucked up and ridiculous that we're taking these rights away and banning abortion and like, just let the fucking people do what the fuck they want, man. You know what I mean? You're out here ruining fucking lives because of some religious bullshit. Religion is bullshit, and religion is almost the root of all evil. I'll leave it at that. And that's it. I'll leave it at that. Yep. I said I wasn't going to get into the political shit because I'm not educated enough, which I'm not. I'm not going to fucking do it, but it's some bullshit. And shout out to Esham for talking about that shit. Let's get into some upcoming shit. Some shit that be coming up soon. DJ Chunk, Chapter 17, staying motherfucking busy. Everybody on Chapter 17 is dropping some shit at the motherfucking gathering. Ouija Macc dropping Stailwind. Devereaux and DJ Chunk dropping their album, Another Day in Hell. Fucking Shaggy the Airhead dropping his project. And now we got DJ Chunk dropping a mix CD, some kind of mix. I'm sure he's gonna be on them eras, the ones and twos, doing his fucking thing. It will be at the Lazy and Crazy merch booth, not the Chapter 17 or Psychopathic merch booth, but day one, he'll be dropping this remix flavor bomb, as you will. He's calling it a brand new, fresh as fuck, hour-long mashup Juggalo remix flavor bomb that will be dropping day one at the Lazy and Crazy merch booth. And of course, DJ Chunk has his own late night party going down as well. So it looks like we're going to get some remixes from DJ Chunk, maybe some blends from DJ Chunk on here. All I know is Chunk is one of the illest dudes on the ones and twos in this scene. There ain't many doing it on the ones and twos, keeping it old school like that. But Chunk is, and he's dropping that at the gathering this Friday, the 8th, I believe. Yes, the 8th. Twiz is dropping his project, produced by 7. I believe he's dropping off a 3-pack. And I got to look up the name for it. I don't have the name right off the top. But it's called Summer Break, the prequel, dropping this Friday, the 8th. 3 summertime joints from our good people before we drop this album on y'all. That's what he said. All produced by 7. Again, 7 is a motherfucking beast on them boards, on the beats, the MPCs, the midis, all that good shit. Whatever the fuck he's using to make beats, I don't know. But Twiz is fucking dope, man. Just West Coast ill shit. And then we got Joey Cool dropped the track list for his album, The Chairman of the Board. We got features on there from Tech 9, King ISO, X-Rated, Tay Diggs. X-Rated is on 2 songs on this album. Iceberg, which we talked about maybe last week or the week before, and then we got him now. Also featuring X-Rated, 16 tracks. I like that. Strange Music is known for having fucking 20 plus tracks on an album, which can make for a long album. 16 is kind of in that sweet spot. I say 14 to maybe 16. I like that around there. Shit. Sometimes you can get away with 10, even though that's maybe an EP. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck is classified as the difference between an EP and an LP, but shit. As long as the shit's banging, it's banging, right? But Joey Cool's chairman of the board. That should be coming out soon. Ritz is hitting the road with Chris Webby and Echo on the Endangered Species Tour. Finally, we got a couple East Coast, actually all East Coast dates on this motherfucker, going from Atlanta, North Carolina, New York, Maryland, Maine, Vermont, New Jersey, Mass, PA. Shit, they're playing the Palladium. I don't mind some Chris Webby shit. I know we've talked about Chris Webby on here before, so I don't mind Chris Webby. Echo, I'm not super familiar with Echo outside of his feature that he did with Twiztid on the Mad Season album, but Ritz, I fucks with Ritz. I've been fucking with Ritz since White Jesus, and I've never seen Ritz live. I don't know who's headlining this tour. Chris Webby's name is the bigger name, font-wise on this flyer, so maybe he's headlining it. I don't know. I'd probably be more apt to go to this tour if I knew for certain that Ritz was headlining it. That way I get a full hour set from Ritz, but I don't know. I might have to check this one out, but they are hitting the road. August, mid-August through early September, Ritz, Echo, and Chris Webby. Boondocks is also getting set to hit the road for a few dates in August 18th, 19th, 20th, and the 21st. Iowa, Michigan, Missouri, and Indiana. He will be joined by Jay Villain, Tritone, and Benu? I don't know. But yeah, Boondocks, live in concert, hitting the road for a few dates. What is up with M&E in these fucking tours, quote unquote tours, where there's only like 3, 4, 5 tours, like tour dates? The fuck, man? Give us a full tour. Fingers crossed we get a full-length tour this fall, like a Fright Fest tour or some shit. We need it, man. We haven't had a fucking Twiztid tour. Like, and the Midwest gets all the fucking love. East Coast gets no love. Actually, I made the meme last week that Twiztid is finally hitting the East Coast, but they're playing in fucking Hartford, Connecticut. That's a no for me, dog. Hartford is sketchy as shit. I'll say that. But yeah. Boondocks hitting the fucking road. And then we got, if you missed it on the Tuesday night terror stream last week, shout out to Robbie of the Twiztid History page, the Do It for the Underground page. Long Live Evil re-released, apparently also remastered, Nox's Massacre Mask. Now, if you don't know who Nox is Lee Carver before Lee Carver. Before he was in Zool, he was known as Nox. He released an album called Massacre Mask. It's got a reissue, apparently a remaster, and you can get the hard copy for sale. I'm pretty sure it is up on digital streaming. I'll check right now. Last time I did check, the album Massacre Mask is up on digital streaming. I just confirmed it right now. The shit came out in 2015. So yeah, that shit been out for 7 years at this point. If you haven't heard it, go peep it. But you can order that shit now if you so fucking please. And of course, one of my new favorite segments that we've introduced into this show this year is the Oh Shit, It's Your Birthday, where we celebrate albums that celebrate, or the fuck, man, where we celebrate albums that had an anniversary the previous week. And one of the albums we're talking about this week is Young Wicked's The Return of the Prodigal Son. Young Wicked, his debut album on Magic Ninja, his only album on Magic Ninja. He did drop an EP prior to this, and To this day, it's been 5 years. He released it June 30th, 2017. To this day, 5 years later, The Return of the Prodigal Son is it's tough. I'd have to like bump them back and forth, but it, it arguably the best album Magic Ninja has released. And I say arguably because The Almighty is right up there too. It's either The Almighty or The Return of the Prodigal Son for me personally as the best albums to come from Magic Ninja. Because when Young Wicked dropped this shit, I mean, when he dropped Slaughter, when he was on Psychopathic, phenomenal album. Like this dude's level up improvement was amazing to see. And then he leveled up again on this album on Prodigal Son. Not one bad song on here. You can listen to this from the intro to Carry On, the very last track. Just an amazing album. He produced it entirely by himself. He had features on here from Mac Lethal, Ritz, Twiztid were on here separately on different tracks. Blaze, ROC, Gmo Skee, Lex the Hexmaster. And that was pretty much the full lineup of Magic Ninja at that time. Killed it. I fucking love this album, man. Top 3 favorite songs since it is a full-length album. Top 3 for me would probably be Blau with Monoxide and Gmo Skee. Like all sorts of bodies were caught on that track. All 3 of those dudes murdered it. The beat was fucking fire. Love that shit. Even though it was a single and I think Young Wicked's most successful single, Still I Rise with Jamie Madrox and Ritz, that shit, man. Jamie Madrox, his flow on there fucking killed it. Young Wicked, Ritz also killed it. Loved the hook on there. One of the best hooks Young Wicked has done. Maybe the best. I don't know. Again, I'd have to fucking actually go back and listen to his catalog to put that, down in stone. But man, I love Still I Rise. And then I probably go as my number 3. Maybe Burning Smoke, the opening track. I fucking love that shit. Great way to open the album. Young Wicked, super fucking talented, now known as James Garcia. I wish he'd go back to the Young Wicked shit because Slaughter and Return of the Prodigal Son are just amazing albums. So goddamn good. And yeah. Happy birthday to Return of the Prodigal Son. And then celebrating its 15th birthday, Twiztid's Independence Day. Now, Independence Day, not one of my favorite Twiztid albums. If I had to rank Twiztid's albums, and I believe I have at some point on this show, I'd put this near the bottom. It just wasn't that good, right? But it wasn't that bad either. Like, I'd say probably about half this album was really good. It just, as much as I like DJ Quick and the Dog Pound, I mean, Quick is the name and Dog Food are just not only West Coast classics, but classics in general. And it just didn't work with collaborating with Twiztid, right? But you do got bangers on here. Welcome Home, the opening track on here, fucking fire. Sex, Drugs, Money, and Murder with Dayton Family. Granted, it was only Monoxide, right, on this track. It was Monoxide with the Dayton Family. That shit was fucking fire as well. Bust Your Head Open with Blaze was fire. How I Live with Proof. Rest in peace to Proof. My Favorite with DJ Clay. Weak Shit's Out with Head PE was dope. Bury 'Em All, Tech Nine, Chris Calico, and Potluck. Remember when Potluck was like that next group, or at least at the time, I felt like Potluck was like the next group to fucking be big on Suburban Noise. And then it just, I don't know. I don't know what happened there, but kind of fizzled out. But that song's fire. And then Monsters Ball with ICP. Come on, man. Fucking fire. And then one of the most overrated songs, and this is my opinion, the Raw Deal, the Juggalo song. Why do people like that song? That song is ass. ass. That song sucks. I fucking hate that song. I hate when they perform it live. I know it's the Juggalo song, but that song sucks. But yeah, I mean, this album, they had the whole point of the album was Independence Day, for them to reach out to independent artists and to have an artist on every song. Now, they didn't get an artist on every song, but it was damn near every song. And like I said, about half the album. Let's see. Welcome Home, like I said, Sex, Drugs, Money, and Murder. Bust Your Head Open. How I Live. My Favorite. Weak Shit's Out. Bury 'Em All. Monsters Ball. So that's 8 tracks out of 14. That's actually more than half the album. So you bust that down to an EP. If I were to take my favorite songs, make it an EP, it'd be a solid EP. But as a full album, and again, this came out in 2007. This was a weird time for Psychopathic. Twiztid put this album. I didn't like it. I'm trying to think. ICP had released The Tempest later in the year. Or was it early? No, it was earlier in the year. And I wasn't really feeling it either. I think the only album that dropped in 2007, if it was 2007, was Blaze's Clockwork Gray. Like, that was like the illest shit coming out of Psychopathic at that time. And maybe Dark Lotus Opaque Brotherhood. That was around that time too. But it was a weird time for Twiztid and ICP. They just weren't putting out what I thought was good music at the time. Like, I like more songs off Independence Day now than when I did back in the day. And y'all know from the review that I did with Joker's Gallery a few months back with The Tempest, I fucking love that album now. There's only one bad song on that shit. Whereas back in the day, I thought there was only one good song on that shit. Now, I fucking love that album. And I even posted up on my Instagram stories last week that I posted my top 5 most played albums that I've played this year, and The Tempest is one of those albums. Like, I've played the fuck out of that album this year. I love The Tempest, man. It's so goddamn good. And Independence Day, I do like it better than I did back in the day, but still, for me, cut that shit down to an EP and it would be fire. Like the songs I like anyway. And then another fucking little segment I like doing, that I've been doing on the show, is the Versus segment. Last week we talked about, I think it was Chicken Hunting versus Hocus Pocus. Or it might have been the week before, but regardless, this week I put up Rock the Dead and We Don't Die from Twiztid. 2 classic Twiztid songs. Rock the Dead off the reissue off Most Tasteless, produced by Mikey Clark. And then Twiztid We Don't Die off the classic Freak Show album, produced by Twiztid and Fritz. And they had a music video where they're on the Ouija board, which was fucking fire. One of the illest videos Psychopathic ever put out. And just 2 classic songs. Again, this one was kind of split down the middle. Half for Rock the Dead, half for We Don't Die. But for me personally, I gotta go Rock the Dead versus We Don't Die. I love both songs. Don't get it fucked up. And an argument could be made that both these songs are played the fuck out, but not really. Like, they're classics. Like, do classics really get played out? Like, if you consider something a classic, does it really get played out? No. But for me personally, Rock the Dead, if we could have got an album produced by Mikey Clark for Twiztid in 99 instead of re-releasing Most Tasteless, take Rock the Dead, Spin the Bottle, Blink, Bury Me Alive, and Hound Dogs, like the 5 new tracks that were all produced by Mikey Clark, and just expand on that and get a full album out of it, that would have been, man, we would have got Jekyll Brothers that year, and then an album produced by Mikey Clark on that Rock the Dead, Blink, Hound Dogs vibe. Man, that shit would have been nuts. Would have been nuts. Me personally, I gotta go Rock the Dead. If you're listening and you didn't vote, hit me up. Let me know what the fuck you think. Rock the Dead or We Don't Die. Both are classics. I'm not mad at either. Even if you pick We Don't Die, because I pick Rock the Dead, not mad at it because it's a fucking classic. I love when they play both songs live. You can guarantee Twiztid will play those songs live at any show, rock band or not. They're gonna be playing them shits because those shits are fucking. Them shits open up the mosh pit. Fire. Love them songs. But that's going to wrap it up this week. I appreciate everybody that's fucking tuned in, man. Much fucking love. I appreciate it. Again, peep the Beneath the Dirt Weekly Bumps playlist, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, for all the new music that I talked about on here. And, yeah, man, I love you for listening, watching. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you. I can't be grateful enough. Much fucking love, y'all. I'm out. I'm Ron Bono of the Beneath the Dirt podcast. Hold on. I'm Ron Bono of the Beneath the Dirt podcast, and until next time, I'm out. Hey.